Shalom. First and foremost, when I give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to all the Akim. I found the four corners teaching the true sincerity. This is Tasha Mouth of the GMS Dodge Camp, coming at you with a quick lesson. Lord's will is edifying unto the hopeful elect. I'm just sitting here, um, meditating over scriptures and watching news. So that's like we should be doing in today's times, because we should watch and also pray. You know, uh, because these days are evil. You know, Esau Edom is going throughout the whole earth still. You know, um, warring and destroying people left and right. All right. He's setting up false flags. He's putting the people and the world in dire straits. But that's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, for the controversy of the nation of Israel, so he can get the nation of Israel up out of here, which consists of your so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of Negroid descent, you know. But, I don't want this to be long, but just picking points and realizing that Esau, Edom, but time is short, as it says in that Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. I'll pull it real quick. This is Revelations chapter 12, verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." And Esau Edom knows he has but a short time. Okay, he doesn't see the grand scheme of things, but Yahweh Shem Shai has revealed that unto his servants, the prophets, the ones that go out on the highways and byways, all right, and proclaim and shake the hand. They're shaking the hand and calling out Esau Edom for all the bullshit that he's doing, So with that, Yahweh Shem Shai has given them, exactly what they need to know, in this season. Okay, so I was going to pull that Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1, and go in it and see what the Spirit gives me, to um, break it down properly. Okay, so this is Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren." All right, it says, "By the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and by gathering together unto him." All right, now beseech means to beg, all right, or to plead, all right. So it says, "Now we beg you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, and by gathering together unto him." Okay, like these brothers that go out on the highways and byways, they gather together and give praises unto Yahweh Shem Shai's name, all right, and bring out messages from past time, because Yahweh Shem Shai requires that which is past, right? So what is past is our future, and that's only unto the elect to understand, because as we're in the now, the Most High is awakening us and opening up our ears to hear, the words, so we can, have the message and run with it. Loosely paraphrasing. Okay, verse 2, it says that ye be not soon shaken in mind, all right, and be troubled neither by spirit or by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Hamashiach is at hand. All right. So they don't want you to be in fear of these things that's coming, because they're coming upon us for a reason. All right. And this is for the controversy of the nation of Israel. Okay. The world this whole time has been in a position of casting down Israel. All right. And calling them a no people. All right. But now Yahweh Bashim Shai is about to raise us up. As it says in that Tobit, Tobit chapter 4, verse 24. It says, like as the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from Yahweh Shemi Shai, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. So this world has seen our lowest point. All right, whenever we were cast off and called a no people. All right, and we became the very bottom class, and they wanted to keep it like that so it can reign over us and make merchandise off of us, even selling us one to all of their people. Because Jake was stolen. Jake was kidnapped. As it says in that Ezra chapter 9, it talks about how let me pull it up. Ezra chapter 9. I'll start at the top. Yeah, I'll start at 2. It says, for they have taken of the daughters of for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have been mingled, themselves with the people of those lands, yea, the hands of the princes of Slakia, the hand of the princes and rulers have been chief in this trespass. Okay, so whenever our people went off, all right, it says that all these other nations came and they kidnapped. They took us, and because everything was in righteousness. All right, they liked the comeliness of the women of Judah and Samaria. All right, they wanted that for themselves, so they took it and they gave it to their sons. All right, just vice versa with their daughters. So this whole world has wanted to see the downfall of the nation of Israel. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. It says, but with that, with them taking Yahweh Shemiah Shah's jewels, all right, which is his people, all right, they messed up, because now there's going to be a recompense for that, all right. So reading this again, it says that ye be not shaken in mind or be troubled. Okay, so don't be afraid of what's about to come. All right, just like back then, that had to happen. All right, all that had to happen. Okay, it uh, says neither by spirit nor by word, no nor by letter, as from us, and as that the day of Hamashiach is at hand. All right, so Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai is about to come, and he's about to set everything right. Okay, because he is the king. He is the one that's going to set everything right. All right, and we should not abhor everything that he is doing. All right, because he's doing it for the elect's sake anyway. All right, and that's one thing that bros need to understand is that all this is for the elect's sake. All right, these 2/3 aren't going to make it, so fuck them niggas. All right, but the elect, all right, even though it's hard, it's treacherous. All right, this is for your sake. Okay, verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Okay, just like it reads in that Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 4. That was the nation of Israel's time to fall away. All right, because we fell away because we transgressed the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. All right, and what does that mean? We fucked up. We messed up. All right, and since we messed up, we had to go through a punishment. Well, Esau has put his hand on these scriptures and wrote himself in the scriptures. So therefore, all these curses are going to come upon him. All right, because he decided to put himself in there. Okay, but he didn't know that the power that we serve has rules. He didn't know that the power that we serve will hold him accountable. All right, so he is deathly afraid right now, as I just read in Revelation 12:12, because he knoweth he has but a short time. All right, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai put him in the power seat, but he fucked it up. He stuck up the field. All right, he and slack it for my language, stammering lips. He stunk up the field. Esau Edom wasn't supposed to rule forever. All right, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai was going to come unto him, like a mighty man of war, and take him out of that seat that he's coveting, because he sees himself as God, which we'll read here in a little bit. I'll read 4 just to get that point. It says, "Who's so like it? Who possesseth and extol himself above all that is called Yahweh." See, he extols himself up above everything that is called Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, and that particularly is his people. Okay, because he has labeled us as a no people with the rest of the world. All right, we shouldn't be held in no form of hierarchy. All right, because they have taken Israel down, and now they just laugh at him, or he keeps putting holy hell upon us, because he's going to Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai saying, "Look at them, they make void your law." All right, so I am justified on putting holy hell on them. Okay, it says, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitting in the seat. Well, so like he as God sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So he has he wants to be God. All right, he has that stigma. All right, he thinks that he can do everything to make himself God on earth. All right, and he's trying to do it. That's why he's doing AI, because he wants mass surveillance. All right, he wants to see everything. Only how about Shimei Shai can see everything. Okay, at the same time, because he has the angels. All right, the angels are the messengers that are writing down and taking note of everything that everybody's doing and sending them up back to Yahweh Shemel Shai so he can execute judgment, when it is needed. Okay, but we'll get into that a little bit later. It says, verse 5, it says, remember ye, it's like it. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that now ye know what holdeth. It says that he might be revealed in his time. So Yahweh Shimei Shai is going to let Esau think that. All right. And he's been letting them think that this whole time. All right. He thinks that he's going to reach that aha moment, but when he's about to fill his belly, he shall be in straits, right? Verse 6, it says, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. So Yahweh Shemel Shai, or Yahweh Shai, is waiting for Yahweh to tell him the proper time, because Yahweh is orchestrating everything, all right, for the controversy of the nation of Israel, okay, to get us out of this predicament, all right. It says, verse 8, it says, and that shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Shemel Shai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and the bright and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, so Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to destroy all this, as it says in that Second Ezra chapter 13. He's going to come on that fathership in the midst of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of decisions, and he's going to start to make decisions, concerning the nation of Israel. Okay, but I wanted to pull that Ecclesiasticus chapter 23, verse 19, because Esau has that mind where he thinks that he can do anything, all right, but he only fears the things that are earthly, carnal, that you can see. All right. This is Sirach chapter 23, verse 19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of man, and knoweth not that the eyes of Yahweh Shemel Shai are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. All right. It says, beholding all the ways of man and considering the most secret parts. So Esau, Edom, you've been sought out, bro. You've been sought out. Yahweh Shemel Shai has already set up, a time for you to fall. Okay, because you can only go so far. All right. So he sees your dirty drawers. Okay, he sees what's going on. Yahweh Shemel Shai is not going to be slack concerning his promise. Okay, his promise that you are going to be taken and destroyed. Okay, but all these things must come to pass for the elect's sake. All right, and on the elect part of that, I'm going to pull that Sirach chapter 17, verse 19, and read to 20. It says, therefore, all their, this is, I'll start up. This is Sirach chapter 17, verse 17. It says, for For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, uh, he set up a ruler over every people, but Israel is Yahweh Shemiah Shah's portion. See, that's what Esau didn't realize. All right, whenever they went over there and to Western Africa and started rounding up Jake, and bringing them back over here to the Americas. All right, and rounding up Jake here, which are you Gadites and you Reubenites, you Issacharites. Esau thought that, oh, I have a people that can be my bottom class. Well, that bottom class is really your upper class. All right, and that's when the pendulum is switched back in his proper order. Okay, but I'll continue on. It says, verse 18. It says, "Whom being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doeth not forsake them." So Yahweh Shemiah Shai has been with us this whole time, and in the spirit. But that's something that Esau cannot, understand. All right, they can't understand how the spirit works because the Most High didn't give him that. He only gave that to the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans of Negroid descent. Okay, only you can understand and discern the spiritual things, especially the elect of that. I'll continue reading. Verse 19, it says, "Therefore all their works are as the sun before him, and his eyes are continuously upon their ways." So as his eyes are 10,000 times more brighter than the sun, on everything, he's focusing in on the nation of Israel over here in the Americas, but preferably all over the world, because Jake got scattered during the slave trade. Jake got scattered. So there's some Jakes that are over here in the Americas, some that are still in Africa, some that's over there in Europe. Most of some that's still over there in Spain, because the transatlantic slave trade happened where they were taken from Africa to the Americas, but also from the Americas over there to Seville, Spain, which is the reverse slave capital of the world. Okay. And since all this is happening, Yahweh Shemiah Shai has not, taken his eyes off his people. Okay. Because these people, all right, the elect is the ones he's going to gather up, all right, and bring back to the land, which is Israel, the whole Israel, not that little slither that those damn Amalekites have right now. But with that, Yahweh Shemiah Shai is doing this, specifically for them. That's why his eyes are continually upon their ways. But he sees what Esau's doing to his people, okay? And seeing how they have to move in this wicked system, okay? But I'll continue. All right. It says, "None of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before Yahweh Shemiah Shai." Okay. Verse 21, because Yahweh Shemiah Shai sees all, right? Verse 21, it says, "But Yahweh Shemiah Shai, being gracious of and knowing the workmanship, neither left nor forsook them, but spared them." Okay? Because Yahweh Shemiah Shai has spared us, especially in the time that we had that falling away period where we didn't even know who we were until, these days, since Abba Bivens over there since 1960, he was the one to help, bring us back to Yahweh Shemiah Shai. All right. Especially through GMS. All right. Because GMS, which speaks the 100% truth. All right. And they have done this glorious work to put us in proper mind and proper state with Yahweh Shemiah Shai. Okay? Because Yahweh Shemiah Shai is still watching. The angels are still recording. All right. The movie's still playing. All right. Just be happy that we're a part of it. All right. But I didn't want to make this long. You know, the water for listening to those that have listened. All right. Keep pushing, keep fighting. Hey, we got to move it on. All right. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashimi Al Shai Bahashim Kakwadash. Shalom and shalom.